Check this out, boys. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Another e-bike review coming at you live straight from the Inja compound. So this is a Nireeka e-bike. This is the first mid-drive motor that is supposed to go fast. I reviewed that cafe racer e-bike that looked cool, that he was selling for $4,000. But this is a bike that I just like way more than the cafe racer e-bike, and it boasts much better specs for less money. So I'm excited to take it out of the box. Now from their website, you can actually order, like custom build these kind of, and they send you a spec model, whatever you choose. Now I told the company that I wouldn't mind if they sent me a fully spec'd model. So this one should, at least if they did actually send me a fully spec model, I haven't seen it yet, but this one should have a 1,000 watt mid-drive motor and a 17.5, I think, amp hour battery. They said it goes 38 miles per hour just on the electric throttle, and it should get a frick ton of miles. I can't remember the figure, but anyway, so let's get this thing unboxed. I'll just get to all the specs and all the fancy stuff when it's actually out of the box. How does that sound to you guys? Pretty good? Good. So you guys should know how I do these by now. I get so many companies hitting me up wanting me to review their stuff, but I turn down legitimately like 95% of all the offers I get. So I'm pretty selective on the ones that I choose, and this one looked cool enough. And also because they're sending this to me for free, I'm not gonna be biased. Like, I don't care what they think of the video, it's already a done deal. Like for example, the KBO e-bikes, you guys remember that video? I basically told you don't buy one, even though they sent me those bikes and paid for the review. I just want to get that out of the way now. I get comments every video like, oh, it's a biased review, they sent you that, didn't they? But I could care less if they sent it to me or not, because I'm doing them a huge favor, and if their product sucks, I'm just gonna say it sucks. Anyway, not saying this one will. Let's get it unboxed and let's see how it actually looks. Dude, I totally forgot. This is a freaking carbon fiber frame. I totally forgot that. I took the seat out and it was the lightest seat I have ever held. It's a freaking carbon fiber seat. The post is and the seat is and everything. This is so freaking light. To freaking check out that motor. And right now, I think these things are $2,500. For that price, for what I'm looking at, I know you guys might not see it physically like I do, but this thing is freaking impressive. It's huge too. I mean, like, there's my full-on leg right there. And like, I'm 6'3", so it's not a short leg. Compared to the tire, just how big this bike is, holy freak, dude. I did confirm as well that this is the fully spec'd out model. So you guys can see here, this is the option. You actually kind of custom build it on their website. This is a 19-inch frame. They call it a large frame. There's also a 17.5-inch as well, medium, but they sent me a large. They sent me, maybe not loading, I'm not sure, but I did see a white color, a pearl white color. I don't know why it's not here anymore, but anyway, they did send me a pearl white color. It is a carbon fiber frame. Then the motor is a 1,000 watt motor. It's a 1,000 watt continuous. I don't know what the peak is on this, but it's a Bafang motor, which are really nice. And then the battery is the 17.5 amp hour, 48 volt battery, and it clicks in. So if you guys come over here, you guys can actually see under here, it's a removable battery pack. And so I clicked it in right, before this, charged it up, clicked it in. And this is a solid bike. This is a very solid bike. Carbon fiber handlebars. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's carbon fiber, and this almost has no weight to it. Like, I couldn't even feel it. Just like the carbon fiber seat, it is incredible. Like, it's so light, but the whole thing is carbon fiber and it's super light. The interface is a lot like other ones. I love the display. This is the second mid-drive motor I have tested. That cafe racer bike I already mentioned, that was like way worse than this one. But like, check this out, boys. Oh, that's only on pedal assist 1. Let's go all the way up. It says 55 miles per hour on the display. That is so crazy. I'm excited to test this thing out. So let's get out to the street and see what it's got. Yeah, it's a fast bike. This is super fun. Let me get into the lowest gear so it has the highest torque on the motor and see what the acceleration is. This bike also is like kind of like a motorcycle where you can shift, you shift through the gears. It makes it easier on the motor to get you all the way up to speed faster. So I'm gonna start on the lowest gear and then click it into the highest gear. I'll have to do that on a full test ride when we have a longer strip, but right now let's just see how much torque it has. So let me get in a higher gear. All right, I'm in the highest gear right now, so I'm gonna just mash the throttle and just see what it does. Oh. Brakes work. Let's see if it'll wheelie. Yeah, that's some pretty good torque. It's a high gear, so I mean it's supposed to. It's a super long gear up top. So let's see if this bad boy will wheelie. Nope. Not quite, but it's quick, dude. All right, she's on a full charge. All right, let's take this thing out for a range test. I feel like it's gonna be a long afternoon because I was just clicking through the settings here and you guys can see I just got to the range and it says 79 miles. I'm excited. This is a super, super nice bike. They also did throw in a carbon fiber backpack, which is pretty sweet. It's like a hard shell backpack. They also threw in a helmet, probably the only bike helmet that I own, but I'm still not gonna wear it. And they also threw in some fenders, which I personally don't like the look of. They're just your typical plastic fender. These are actually pretty stiff. They're actually nice fenders. I'm just not gonna put them on. I'm not gonna bring you guys along for the whole riding. That's kind of boring. So I'll just bring you guys back when I'm all done. All right, we just finished up the ride. It only took me about, what do you think, an hour and a half probably? Yeah, it's like 5. I think I left at like 3 something. So we're sitting currently at 8% battery, so I will call it pretty much dead. I could definitely tell it was getting a little bit more sluggish at the end. The software, I will say, actually did feel like it was slowing me down before it actually started damaging the battery. If you run bikes and batteries too low and you run them too zero, it's not good for the battery, so you should always keep it between 20 and 80% ideally in the battery life. So the software felt like it was kind of slowing it down, and it held it at 7% actually for a long time. I was probably riding 2 miles or so at 7%. So it was trying to keep it there, keeping the battery life preserved, I believe. So that was cool. It has the good software I like. A lot of e-bikes kind of just cut off when it's completely dead and bad for the battery, and you don't make it home. But this thing is really nice. On the odometer, currently we have 22.1 miles. I did put it in eco mode about halfway through, but it didn't really do anything because I have it completely unlocked, so it gives max amps all the time, and I went full throttle. I was cruising. It's a hot day today. It's like 100 degrees, so no one was on the bike trails. I might have seen one person the entire time. So I was cruising the entire way, full out, 37 or so miles per hour. Is what I was topping out at, and so I was getting places really quick. So 22.1 miles, it might not seem like that much. It's kind of the standard, you know, e-bike you buy. Any e-bike from like $1,200 up is gonna get around 20 or so miles. This one we got 22.1 on the charge, but I was going twice as fast. And I will say this motor and everything is just so much higher output than all the other e-bikes. So there's a huge advantage. Going up slopes on this thing, I couldn't even feel the hills, and it was a good grade too. So this is probably, besides the Aerial Rider Grizzly, I think this is probably one of the most beastly e-bike I have. This thing is crazy. But between this one and the Aerial Rider Grizzly, this one is cheaper. I think it's on sale right now for like $2,500 for this bad boy, which is a great deal. It's a great deal for the specs you're getting and whatnot. And just the overall look, how big it is, how light it is. I mean, this is an insane e-bike for $2,500. Yeah, I don't know if you could get better than that right now. It said it was on sale, so right now, I can't predict the future. They might raise their prices, they might not, but right now it's on sale for $2,500. Between this and the Aerial Rider Grizzly though, it just has a very different feel. This is a mid-drive, that one has dual hub motors. The mid-drive allows you to shift this like a motorcycle. The Aerial Rider Grizzly has just dual hub motors, so it's basically all gas or none, you know, you don't shift through gears or anything. This, you can gear it for torque or you can gear it for top speed. So that's another huge upside. It actually feels like a motorcycle. We'll go on a ride in just a second, but it actually feels like a motorcycle. When you're shifting through the gears, you can start off accelerating insanely fast and you're just shifting gears just like a normal motorcycle. And so that's super cool. If we were judging this like a normal e-bike going, you know, 20, 22 miles per hour or something, I probably would have seen 50 to 60 miles out of this thing, because that's less than half amps if you're keeping it at that speed on this powertrain setup. But I was full out all the time, highest amps possible, full throttle the entire way. And as far as appearance goes, this is definitely by far the best looking e-bike that I have owned. I mean, this thing is awesome. It's huge. It feels like a motorcycle when you're riding it. The suspension is nice. You can gear it. You know, you can change the compression and everything for this front suspension. All right, riding the Nireeka e-bike. This thing's a beast, dude. All right, let's shift all the way down. All right, so I put it in third gear, and this bike you actually kind of shift through like a motorcycle. Let's just mash it and start shifting. And yeah, it picks up pretty dang quick. .34, I got a heavy wind against me. We're at 34 right now. Let's see if I shift it up into 9th gear. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, it's climbing even more now. We're at 35. I think there's one more gear left. Let's see. Yeah, there's one more gear left too. All right, 36 and climbing. I'm not having like full enough stretches to really get up to speed. And we're in 9th gear. This is full throttle and it's still picking me up. 20 miles per hour. 23 and climbing. We're at 27. And we're on eco. I should have put it to sport mode. I think it is actually a little quicker in sport mode. I think it gives all the amps. I think eco mode actually does limit the amps. Let me put it in sport mode and see if that actually does change anything. I think you push the information button twice. Yeah, it goes into display settings. Let's go default mode. Let's turn that to sport. That already feels a little bit quicker. As far as the comfort of the ride goes, this bike is definitely not bad. It does have adjustable suspension, air suspension, and yeah, it does fine. The riding position I actually prefer. It's really sporty. It almost feels like a sport bike or a cafe racer. The kind of super low kind of stance to it. The cafe racer e-bike I reviewed had a very similar setup to this one, but it was more of like a cruiser bike and the handlebars were all like back here, and I would literally hit my knees every time I tried to turn. That was so frustrating. But not with this one. This one's awesome. I mean, I love the overall look and style and stance of it. Super nice bike for sure. All right, so we're up to 32, and that was in 7th gear. So I think that's probably the top speed for 7th gear. All right, let's rip it. Dang, I'm always going into the wind. Goodness. But we'll see what we can get. This is sport mode. All right, so we're topping out at 32 there, 33. Let's shift it up to 8th gear. You like a tuck, like get as sport as possible right now. Go, okay, just don't hit me and we're good. Okay. Don't hit me, okay, we're good. All right, 36. Let's go up to 9th gear. I think it's 9th gear. Okay, so yeah, we're cruising right at 36 with a headwind. Okay, so I guess maybe eco mode doesn't limit the amps. We're getting about the same speed. I mean, it's all unlocked. I mean, I set the top speed on this to 60 miles per hour. And so I'm sure that it's not limiting anything between eco and sport. I'm sure if I limited the speed limit, it would probably have a difference. I don't know. But yeah. All right, so we're in 9th gear, just cruising. $36.3. And I gotta say, the fat tires on this thing are crazy. They're 30-inch wheels and they are thick, man. That is the same thickness as a motorcycle tire. So that is super cool. It legitimately, and the frame and everything, the size of this bike legitimately feels like a motorcycle almost. I mean, you got the bicycle handlebars, so it doesn't feel quite like a motorcycle, but you can't get any closer than this, I don't think, with an e-bike to feeling like a motorcycle, especially the speed you're hitting and everything. It's basically a motorcycle, kind of just a detuned electric motorcycle is what it feels like. And this also opens up your options for going on like bike trails and stuff, like places motorcycles can't go. Plus you don't have to register this, plus you don't have to have insurance on this. There's a lot of upsides to having an e-bike instead of a electric motorcycle. Probably the bike I'm going to take out. I have so many e-bikes. I got the Aerial Rider, I got the Side Rushers that I like as well, and then there's this one. I think personally this is going to be the one I take out whenever I got to go for a bike ride. So this is the Nireeka e-bike, dude. I freaking love this thing, and it's customizable, dude. You order your spec'd one however you want it from their website and they send it to you. So I couldn't be more happy with it. All right, so there you have it. This is the Nireeka. I honestly don't even know the model number, but I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out. Thank you, Nireeka, for sending me this bike. But that being said, guys, I'm definitely not, this is not a biased review. This is genuinely actually a good bike. You guys know me, I don't twist things just because they send me stuff. I'm very selective on the bikes that I'm accepting now. And so if it looks different or looks super cool like this, I'm accepting those kind of reviews, but I'm not being biased at all. This is genuinely a good bike. Got like a 2000. So yeah, I'm very happy with this bike. It's an awesome powertrain and it's all carbon fiber. Like, you can't beat that. So, and for $2,500 currently, that's crazy. It's a great price for it. So check it out if you guys are interested. It's a great bike. That being said, guys, we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.